Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com. So garden. Namaste and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. My name is Christopher Rayman Witecki and I'm your soul biographer, here to translate what's going on up in the outerverse down into figuring out your innerverse. And I'm so grateful to be back. Once again, I have been off the air. I'll explain in just a minute. First, a couple announcements. One, I'm doing a webcam workshop at the end of the month and the beginning of April called Jumpstart the Heart. This is in response to many of my clients who are telling me that they're having a hard time finding love, or they're having a hard time really feeling their heart, or they're having a difficult time figuring out what they should do or what they really want. This is a disconnection to your heart, my friend. Come Jumpstart the Heart for just $33.95. This is a class one-on-one with me, actually 1-on-8, and we're going to get in a 90-minute period some basic fundamentals to returning to your heart and restoring faith in your inner child. So check it out. Also, if you buy a 1-hour reading with me right now, you will get a free Secrets of Birthday video emailed to you before the reading. And I got to say, I'm loving the way this is working because people come to the reading now with questions and they're informed. This is a 20-minute video you get for free, which is based on your chart, and then you get the reading. So come on down to soulmart.me. That's where this is all sold. And by the way, soulmart.me is a nonprofit co-op. We're developing it into a nonprofit co-op. So when you are investing in Soulmart, you're investing in the ability for other practitioners to come out as well. We put all of our money back into promoting our kind, if you will. So that said, we are in a very difficult time. The sun is in Pisces. The universe is investing an incredible amount of psychic energy in the Pisces vibration. It really is that cliche of let go and let God. I myself found myself on my back in the hospital again. I want to say thank you to every person that sent well wishes and spirit and prayer. I did really feel it and I bounced back. And it just goes to show you we are all human, and that's really kind of what we're being forced to face right now is our humanity, our own compassion for ourselves. And we're also having to stand up for those new emotional boundaries we work so hard on. So without further ado, let's take the Ascension elevator and dive deep into you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. During a Mercury retrograde, the up button will go down and the down button will go up on the Ascension elevator. Please remain seated until I've turned off the no floating sign. And as always, thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Hello, Your Honor, and welcome to 33,000 feet. We're going to be focusing on the Libras, the Libra risings, and if you bought a Light Cast report card, we call you a peace artist. Yeah, man. And that's really what Librans are here to do, is to construct peace on the earth, to restore balance and order. And you know, you went through a hard time yourself not too long ago restoring balance and order in your life, and it may feel like you're back there again, but you're really not. Where you are is in Pisces, and we're in Chapter 3 of the Sun in Pisces. Libras and Libra risings are working on how they connect to the moment. And the universe has said, now that Libra 2.0 is on its way, now that you have the new pricing structure coming up where you're going to raise your prices and be productive, now that you're expanding your beliefs and you're refining your life purpose, it's time to change the way a Libra lives in the moment. And I have to say, most Librans are pretty much calm on the outside, nervous Bettys on the inside. That's what I've gotten to know. You guys look like nothing's going wrong at all, but inside you're like, ha, 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 ha. That's at least what you guys have shared when you've spoken to me. But there is a trick to all this, and that's what we're going to learn. So let's get on with it, shall we? We're in Chapter 3 of Sun in Pisces, and to put into a better perspective, you're working on the I-be state of awareness, how you be in the moment. This begins with your body and the 6 senses. So anyone with health issues or health karma would have dealt with that at the beginning of this transit and is still dealing with that. It could also be an injury. This also deals with the way you perform in the moment. Musicians, artisans, dancers, construction workers is performance. We're talking about athletics. We're talking about getting things done in the physical, tangible. We're also talking about healing. And then at the highest end of that, bring that back up again, is lifestyle, the big arc of what you want to live like in life, your craftsmanship and your overall talent. So we're working on the craftsmanship and lifestyle this week, and the universe has invested a crap load of planets. Look at all these. Neptune, which is intuition, Mercury retrograde, Chiron to heal, Venus to restore balance, that's your home planet, the Sun, which is where you love, and Mars. And as you can see, the moon flies through this space this week. So we're at step 20 this week. We're moving up to chapter 3, and you're entering into the passion of your life, the passion of your lifestyle, and whether or not there is passion. And at the end of the week, we're going to act on that passion. So we identify at the beginning, we act at the end. But there's another story, Saturn, which is now retrograde in Scorpio. This is the part of you that's trying to raise your prices, to bring in more abundance, to become more valuable. But the beginning stages was about facing your soul capital issues or facing your self-esteem issues. When I say beginning, I mean from last Halloween until now. Well, Saturn is now retrograde, so you will lose the strength of Saturn behind you, which means that the universe has shown you where you need to have better self-esteem. Now you will have to stand up and actually do it on your own. It won't be as easy as it was. And you might have thought it wasn't easy before. Well, we'll see now with the retrograde. Then Pluto is still chugging ahead forward, which is another big story in everyone's life. For you, this is about moving forward to the next stage of self-nurturing, a new stage of emotional awareness, and bringing more emotional awareness into your daily awareness. Librans are air signs. They tend to want to stay in their mind, but the universe is saying it's now time to love and trust your emotions, and we're moving to that next step this week. So why don't we take a look at the 7-day play-by-play, and of course we're doing that now in outer space. Here we are on the outer outskirts of Pluto, and we will begin, of course, with Sunday. It's cloudy and hyper-aware on Sunday. That's because the moon moves into Pisces and is on countdown for Love Fest Lycast Day. This is a day where on Sunday you might feel very, very aware of your health or your body. You might feel run down. Whatever you feel, pay attention to it. Plus, the moon is crossing Neptune, which means your intuition is coming through your emotions. So your feelings might be picking up on something else important, a family member or someone in your work style, because this is also lifestyle, work style transit. So Sunday's a little bit of a heebie-jeebie day. On Monday, it's cloudy and light casting for Love Fest Day, the most powerful day of the month, to manifest our intentions. It's also the day to restore balance and order to our life through Venus and love. So it's a day really of telling everyone you love that you love them, and it's a day of manifesting your intentions and getting what you want out of your life. It's also a Jupiter ruled day, which means you're going to want to expand. You want to go ahead and run for unlimited possibilities. That's what Jupiter is all about. But let's take a closer look at this party in Pisces, shall we? Remember, there is Neptune, there is Mercury, there is Chiron, there is Venus, there's the Sun, there's Mars, and the Moon races through here on Love Fest Lycast Day. As the Moon crosses over Chiron, you're called to heal. As it crosses over Venus, the actual giving and receiving will happen. So Love Fest Day really is about giving and receiving from higher self, giving, receiving, and healing your body for the Librans. Then the Moon will cross over the Sun, and this is the Lycast Day, the portion, the day where we can set our intentions to manifest. And here's how it works. Basically, once a month, every month, the moon will line up with the sun, and when it does this, it does like a double gravity pull towards the sun and the direction of whatever the constellation the sun is in. And this is what we call Lycast Day, a new moon. Now, what this means is that there's a huge buildup of energy today to change your life. So if you have your intentions set and your heart full of love, which means that the best intentions will be fulfilled, this is a day where you're setting kind of a big gravitational impression on your own law of attraction. And in order to receive, the attitude of receiving is gratitude. So fill your heart with love, visualize the lifestyle you want, visualize the healing you want, visualize the way you want to feel in the moment every day of your life, and hold that vibration in gratitude as long as you can. 20 minutes should do it, by the way. If you're always wondering, some people's like, how long do you do it? I don't know. I think 20 minutes is fine myself, as long as it's pure and you're doing a good job. So make sure you put out there on Monday. On Tuesday, there's some potential relationship issues and things go cloudy. The moon moves into Aries and crosses over Uranus. On top of that, it's a Uranus ruled day, so there's a bit of a breakdown or breakthrough, both. Breakthrough kind of is inevitable, but some people go through a little bit of a breakdown, and that would be in your lifestyle or in the moment. And there may also be a simultaneous little bit of thunderstorm going on long-term relationships, or perhaps the mirage, how you relate to yourself. On top of this, the universe is now presenting a very powerful yod. Remember, Yod is God giving us the finger, and in this case, fingering us to Jupiter. And basically what this says is Saturn, which is the part of you that wants to raise your prices, and Pluto, which is the part of you that has to nurture yourself and be much nicer to yourself. Both of these will be taken care of, says the odd, if you just focus on the Jupiter. And what's the Jupiter? Deciding, says Jupiter, what you don't believe in and what you think you believe in. Being very clear on what you don't believe in will auto set what you need to do with self-nurturing. Being very clear on what you believe in will help you be strong about what you're actually worth. Beliefs seem to be the place where we need to be clear. And this red line, basically, from Jupiter over to this party in Pisces, this red line represents where there's some fear. There's fear between believing what you believe and whether or not you can have the life you want, says the planets. And the truth is you can. Just focus on the Jupiter, follow the yod, follow God's finger. This yod is for the next 10 days, by the way. So for the next 10 days, just if you get stuck, focus on what you don't believe and what you do believe and focus there and act on those beliefs. I'll be talking more about that, of course. All right, so that is Tuesday. On Wednesday, sunny and sentimental, the moon moves off of Uranus, and so emotions are just nice and balanced. Maybe you make up with your honey. Now, Mercury is retrograde, and it is ruling the day. This is the last Mercury-ruled retrograde day before Mercury goes direct later on the 18th. But this means you might have some breakthrough about what you need to do in your lifestyle to make things change, or what you need to do with your relationship to your own body to make things change. It might just be paying attention. It might be that you're pushing your body too much. So be clear and be honest. The moon in Aries also makes it sentimental, like I said, for the honeys. Then on Thursday, it's sunny and things go a bit private. By the end of the day, you're very good with relations and strategic alliances through most of the business day, depending on where you're on the earth. Venus rules the day, so you'll restore balance to your health or your lifestyle, so things will feel good there. But by the end of the day, the moon moves into Taurus, retracting into self-trust issues. And if nothing else, if you have self-trust, then usually people just want privacy on this day. So potential to be private by the end of Thursday. Then comes Friday. Friday, definitely private. That's because Neptune rules the day, which kind of takes the steam out of the day, so we don't really feel like dealing with people. And your emotions are behind scenes, tucked into the house of trust and intimacy. So I definitely feel you are private by Thursday. One thing worth pointing out is at some point during the day, the moon will oppose Saturn. Saturn is a part, remember, that where you have to be strong for yourself as far as self-esteem and not going back on the old prices, where you might feel pulled on a particular boundary or a price negotiation or something on that day, and that's one of the ways you're going to have to just stay strong. Then on Saturn Day, actually Saturn rules the day on Saturn Day, and it's sunny and transformative for the Librans. Now, first of all, because Saturn rules the day, this is where you're going to want to decide and commit to the lifestyle you're looking for. This might be a job change, a lifestyle change as far as school change. It could be the way a diet change. It could be plastic surgery. But there is a decision to change the way you live in the moment, and you want to commit to that decision. The moon is still in Taurus, so you're still very private on Saturday, but I think you're feeling really sharp, and I think you're feeling confident about the future. Then on Sunday, Fun Day Sunday, it's back to being perplexed. Cloudy and perplexed, I think. Mars rules the day, so that puts some anxiety on the day, some anxious energy. And really that anxious energy is there to kickstart the new lifestyle you just committed to 24 hours before. But the moon crosses over Jupiter, which was that sensitive point of the yod. And so on this day, you're going to really have to own, your emotions are going to catch up to your beliefs. And so if you're not clear on your beliefs on this day, this is where that yod will not serve you, but disserve you. Or this is where you'll have fear between your lifestyle and what you believe. So that's a possibility on Sunday. Overall, just take action towards a new life and what you want on Sunday. And the moon in Gemini will clear up probably by the end of the day. And from that point, you'll just be spacey. All right, let's fly home and wrap it up. Well, thanks for watching your horoscope. And in closing, I just want to remind you of a couple of points. On the one hand, listen to those little birdies. Listen to that instinct. Neptune is plowing through to open up our psychic awareness, and the ones who will do well are the ones who listen. Mercury is retrograde to the end of this horoscope, which means reconsider, rethink, be open to ideas you're not open to. If you normally listen, speak up. If you normally speak up, listen. And don't forget about that yod with Jupiter. You want to be decisive about the topic I talked about in your horoscope. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to be of soul service. Remember, I am live on Mondays at 12 noon Pacific with my guided hangouts where I go into a deep topic and dive into what we're dealing with on a deeper level. And if you don't know, if you receive GA text and Gmail, I am now emailing much more deep transcripts in the emails, getting deeper on the texts, and forwarding videos that are of importance to you. So if you want to join and be watched over by the Guardian Agency, it's really only 1 penny for the first week. Just come on to gatext.me. All right, folks, I love you so much with full gratitude. Namaste. See you next week.